Hello, good morning, happy Easter. I just wanted to personally welcome you again before we cut to our audio of our morning meditation together. Just to share with you, since it did get cut out in our video, I am not your typical Christian, though I am a practitioner of Christianity. And these are some of my perspectives on this beautiful day where the whole world gets to start over new again. So enjoy your meditation, and I'll talk to you soon. Practitioner of Christianity, and do to the best of my ability remove the blocks that make it difficult for me to live in love and in peace and joy. I was raised Roman Catholic, and now on my journey, I've refined and tapped my own inner connection, and now it's a little bit different than that. So over our time together, I'm going to share with you what Easter means to me through my interpretation. These are my opinions and my beliefs. They're not intended as doctrine, very much the opposite. So I invite you to have your own experience and to participate with me. And a couple of the things that I love about Easter is that it's meant to be seen as a rebirth. It was a rebirth of this historical person, Jesus Christ, when he ascended. And it's also mirrored in the blossoming of spring around us. And it's so beautiful. Presently, since it is April 2020, many of us are mourning. We're mourning different things. We are in a grief cycle because we've had to let go of how things were. Even now on Easter, our larger gatherings, our churches have been encouraged to close, and even some families are not able to gather right at this time. And so things are quite different for us, and it's okay. It's part of a grief cycle. In the grief of what was, there is space for the new. We mourn, and then a birth arrives. It's not the same, but it is soft, beautiful, and sweet. And we can see it with renewed eyes. My favorite thing about the resurrection is a shift away from the focus of loss to the focus of love. And this, to me, is the idea of repentance, a shift in thoughts, in feelings, and in actions. May our minds, hearts, and choices be renewed to reflect our new selves. I'm curious to know what parts of yourself or of your experience you have been mourning. Parts of us that were separated or cast out are now having the opportunity to integrate. I'll share some examples as we welcome them home into the light. And these are personal examples for me as well. You can feel free to add on your own. I welcome home the part of myself that felt fear. I welcome home the part of myself that was ashamed. I welcome home the part of myself that experienced lack, not having enough of love or companionship. I welcome home the part of myself that experienced loss, the part of myself that was abused or betrayed by myself or by another person. I welcome home and comfort the part of myself that refused to forgive. I welcome home and accept the part of myself that's angry without turning her away. I welcome home the part of myself that felt unworthy of love. And as I move along my journey, I know that that's not true. Feel welcome to add on parts that you are mourning and parts of you that you are welcoming home. I no longer hide. The sun has risen on a new day in my life. Everything is illumined. So we'll continue on with a prayer I've written. Our meditation together is, I guess, part Sunday sermon, part slam poetry from my journal, part storytelling, and part practice. So if you'd like to meditate along, you're invited to close your eyes. My prayer for you is that when you're in the dark, let go of feigning love and light. Stay there in the dark of the tomb for just a moment, maybe like 3 days, and switch on the light of your divine connection. You don't have to be confined to one room of the inner castle where the light has already been switched on. If you are confined to just one lit room, it is a false light, because we're never meant to be confined. We're meant to be free. There's no need to fear here when you are in the darkness of the tomb. Be still and know that the great I am, the great all that is with you and within you. You do not have to stay once you've illumined your tomb. You can be in the world and not be of the world. When freedom expands, you are not confined to one room of a kingdom. You are a light everywhere, and this is true freedom. So we will take a few breaths together, enjoy a little practice, a practice for turning on the light. And rather than sharing doctrine with you, I invite you to share in a practice. Many call this worship. I call it participation, because we're moving beyond the rules, the doctrine, and the orthodoxy into the realm of orthopraxy, having a practice and therefore having a direct learning from our own connection. So together, before I read forward into our story, I invite you to close the eyes, enjoying a couple deep breaths. If it feels good, placing the left hand on the heart and the right hand over the left. Feeling the beating of your own heart, divine proof that you are alive. We'll enjoy a few more breaths together. Inhaling deeply into a softened belly. Continue to enjoy the comfort of your own breath as I begin to read a story. After his time in graven isolation, the man called Jesus left the world behind. Donning his spiritual crown, Jesus became reborn as Jesus the Christ, and rose like the sun as a child of God, the same family to which we are all invited home. The man named Jesus found wholeness and light in the dark, and stepped into the light as the light. His wholeness made him holy. His participation with all that is what crowned him with the Christhood. Yoked with the divine, Jesus the Christ is one example of how all shadows join the light of the sun once the boulders and blockages that kept you entombed in fear are rolled out of the way. May the parts of us that tried so hard to cast out be cast into the light of love and viewed through the eyes that see all things as perfected grace. May those parts of us we tried so hard to cast out be cast into the light of love. May you be filled with the divine qualities of peace and joy. May you be filled with love and compassion. May you be filled with forgiveness and faith. May you be filled with laughter and playfulness. May you be filled and experience the connection of the divine and the divine that resides within you. May you be filled with gratitude and grace, with generosity, with abundance, with prosperity, and with celebration. May you grieve the repetitive old stories you've lived and the fears that kept you wounded. May you find the ease and freedom to enjoy the adventures of a new, unknown, happy story that you are invited to live in the light. And one parting sentiment for some of us that are missing the congregation and maybe even the building of the church itself. If your body is your temple, you are always in worship. Go forth, mindful of that with which you choose to participate. My beautiful friends, thank you so much for joining me. If your palms are still pressed to your chest, you can keep them there, or you might choose to join them together at your heart. Take a moment to bow your neck, acknowledging your beautiful body, your brilliant mind, your radiant spirit, and the joy that this day holds for you, all of its possibilities, and may you be reborn. I love you, I love you, I love you. Until next time, my friends. Blink. Bye. Happy Easter.